What's up everybody, my name is Zach and welcome to the 2022 snow season wrap up. Yes, you might be wondering why are we doing this mid-season, and to put it simply, I am an idiot and things rarely go 100% to plan. So last weekend I went to Falls Creek with Elliot and Johnny and it started out a little bit rough. We had some binding and board issues, however we got that sorted out pretty easy, and then spent most of the morning just cruising around the mountain, finding nice little pockets of powder and just having a great old time. Eventually we found our way into the park, and that's where things kind of didn't work out the way we would have hoped. So the first run or two, we were hitting jumps, we were hitting boxes, just having a grand old time, and that's where things kind of went wrong on the next run. Unfortunately, we forgot the rule of stupid, in which case when doing something questionable, always have the camera rolling. So unfortunately, that means there is no clip of this particular incident. So because of the lack of clip, I am just going to have to tell you the story and walk you through what exactly happened and why it is that we're making this wrap up now. The top of the park, we come into our first jump. This went relatively well, although we only just cleared the knuckle, not quite getting the speed we had wanted because the snow was quite soft. With that in mind, I went into the next jump, throwing in a bit more speed, thinking that it was going to be same conditions. That turned out not to be the case, and I was going in way too hot. So all I can think is what I've done is I've tried to wipe some of that speed off, although way too late in the game. And instead of wiping the speed off, I've ended up throwing my feet out well and truly in front of me. So I was now laying horizontal to the snow below me. And I can remember looking back behind me and just watching that down ramp just disappear in the distance. And that's kind of when I thought, this is gonna hurt. So sure enough, that down ramp disappeared and I've calmed down flat on my back with quite the impact. My only thought being was to roll because I knew there was other people up there and I didn't know if they were going to be waiting to see whether I cleared the jump or not. I roll over 2 or 3 times and look back, and sure enough, there is somebody else coming over that jump that would have had absolutely no idea whether I was still at the bottom there or not. So when playing in the park or basically anywhere on the mountain with features or that blind spots, make sure that the person in front of you has ridden away before you go hitting those features, because that could have ended very differently had I still been in the position that I was. Now, being rolled out of the way, I was struggling to catch my breath as I was badly winded, worse by a long shot that I had ever been. It took me probably 4 or 5 minutes, I reckon, to be able to breathe semi-regularly, and the whole time being in quite a bit of pain. In this time, my friends had actually made their way down to me, given me a hand to unstrap them from my bindings, and I slowly made my way to my feet, leaning on the board and just continuing to catch my breath, not really saying a whole lot. Breathing relatively well now, I made the decision to continue on down the mountain and catch the lift back up. This probably wasn't the smartest decision that I have made, but that's kind of what I do. So we get down, caught the lift back up, and at this time I was feeling pretty ordinary and decided that I would just continue on back down the mountain to the car park and call it kind of quits there, or at least take a good break and really assess the kind of condition that I was in. And this was the second pretty bad decision. I could have caught the lift down and walked off, or, you know, seeked assistance and got a trip down. Anyway, we snowboarded down. It went pretty well considering, and I got to the bottom, found a chair, and that was about it. The adrenaline had worn off, I'd cooled down, and I was in a great deal of pain. So it was pretty much lunchtime at this point, so we ordered some lunch, had a beer, and kind of worked out what we were going to do for the afternoon. I decided to call it quits as I wasn't feeling great, but told the others to continue on. I mean, there was still half a day and I was happy enough just sitting around. So that's what they went and did. They headed back up the mountain, had a ball, and we met up at the end of the day at the bottom of the mountain. Travelled home, you know, didn't think too much of it. Yeah, things sucked, but, you know, whatever it is, what it is. I wasn't exactly going to make it a whole lot worse doing nothing. So it comes the next day, I decided I am not feeling all that great. So I went into my workplace, told them I was not going to be in for the day, got some fuel, and made my way to the hospital. Emergency room, did all that kind of crap, bunch of tests and checks and all the rest. Anyway, it turns out I have broken my back along the T9 to 11, and that's basically season ending. Well, not basically at all. That's a season ender, which sucks, because I was having a blast. So yeah, that's pretty much where we're at. Broke my back. Got to take it easy for a whole lot of time. And yeah, basically by the time I'm good to go again, the snow season is going to be over. So we're just going to focus on recovery and then preparing for the stupid that summer brings. Anyway, I guess enjoy some of the highlights of this very little bit of season that I managed to survive.
poisonous!
Well, if you've made it this far, thanks for sticking around. I guess I'll see you when I've healed up and the weather's much warmer. Bye for now.
If I